Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm not sure when you're catching this, but hopefully you are. Got in the shop a little bit early this morning, hoping to beat some of the guys into the shop, but I forgot my managers get in about an hour early to beat some of the Houston traffic, so you might see some activity around here. I'm a bit of a mess. I've got Oklahoma State hat on, Michigan State shirt, Texas Tech shorts. College ball started up last week, beginning of this fall semester, and I've got one stepdaughter in Michigan State, starting her freshman year, another one just finishing up in a couple semesters, Oklahoma State. The mom went to Oklahoma State, I went to Texas Tech, just kind of excited about college ball. Today, I thought I'd keep the video a little bit shorter than usual. I noticed they were going a little bit long, and what I wanted to do was kind of put it to you on what vehicle I should take to a road trip I have coming up in Alabama in about a month. I'm going to line the cars up and you got to tell me what you suggest I take, and we'll kind of go through them a little bit. A couple of them you've already seen. Also, I have some maintenance that I've done on my F250. The hubs were sticking, vacuum system was probably failing. That's real common on these things. So I just switched over to a Warren manual system. I videoed that. It's really simple to do. And I might have a little something extra if I can put it together at the end of the video. So anyway, cue the banjo. I have a speaking engagement in Auburn, Alabama in about a month. Now the smart thing for me to do was take my F250 daily driver and go up there in that. But I was thinking I'd take another car, kind of like I did when I went to Wyoming. I took the RX-7 in the first episode. I've got a couple other cars that I could take. So I was going to put it to you. What should I take? I'll show you what I have, and why don't you tell me what you think would be the best thing for me to take. Now, going to Alabama would be 700 miles. It'd be about 10 hours of a left on a Sunday. I was thinking about breaking it up a little bit. I got some comments in the first episode where I did the road trip on to Wyoming in the RX-7 to start including a little bit more of the scenery. And I did have a lot of the scenery in there and some of the sites as well, the tourist sites, but it kind of ended up in the editing floor just because of maybe time, and I didn't know what the interest would be. But I did get some comments on that and saying, please include them. So I was thinking I could either split it up in 2 days, 5 hours a day of driving, and then find out what is the scenic route to do, or any museums on the way, or things like that. Now, right now, Louisiana has a lot of flooding going on, and I feel bad for the people that are going through that, and I know that's very hard. So if I left today, the route would be much different because of all the flooding. But I'm not leaving till another month, and I'm thinking that will quiet down a bit. We'll just have to see how that plays out. That was my thoughts. Let me show you the cars and you tell me what you think. And we'll run through them real quick. Let me get this off. So I've got 69 Corvette, 68 Camaro, 89 TTA, and I'm going to tell you right now the TTA is not going. I'm going to save that. It's got 5,000 miles on it. I want to take the Radwood before I start putting in substantial miles on it. And my favorite, the RX-7. I'm just a sucker for that one. Let's go through some of them. We'll go through the Corvette real quick and get around this tree. So the Corvette, 1969. I put side pipes on it. I did that for a reason. One, I think it looks really cool, but also I wanted to move the heat out of the cabin. This car I've had since '95, and it got to the point that it was a bear to drive and unfun to drive. Didn't have power steering, didn't have power brakes. The AC was like an old man blowing on you. It sucked. And I was like, if I can't fix it right, I'm going to sell it. So I just kind of took a new approach to it. It's still got a 383 in it. I had the original motor mothballed, the 350 horse. It's got a 383 in it with 450 horsepower. The front runners from Vintage Air, Hydro Boost brakes. This AC system from Vintage Air is made specifically for this model, and it blows ice cold. Problem solved. Power steering, Hydro Boost brakes, problem solved. Move to the hot pipes from underneath your feet to the side pipes. Again, much more comfortable. The interior on this car is by Dooley & Sons. out of Magnolia, Texas. I wanted this car to look like a 70s hot rod. If somebody had some money to spend in 1970 or 75 or so, this is what they would have done with it. Everything's been leathered out, diamond stitched. Door panels are leather. All this is leather. The panels are in here leather. And the reason I did the leather was actually a functional reason. I wanted to quiet the cabin down. These things are rattle traps. There's not much I can do about the leaky T-tops. They all leaked. I think they leaked from the factory. But I could do something about the rattles. Now the dash isn't leathered out or anything, but wrapping all that stuff in leather actually quieted it down. It's driven by a 5-speed. It's got coilovers all around, Willwood brakes, and we'll go deeper into these cars with maybe another episode. But I just want to run through them really quick. See if I can get the suspension down there. With the suspension, it becomes very comfortable. It's a comfortable car. Now the other car, 68 Camaro, set up similarly. It's got 4-link below, 9-inch rear end, Willwood brakes. The interior, again, by Dooley Sons out of Magnolia. This interior right here was kind of hard to find. I was very specific on what I wanted. I wanted to have the houndstooth interior, but I didn't want the traditional red and white or black and white. Finding this material here took a long time. Finally found it out in California. I love that this is red on red. Again, driven by a 5-speed. Coilovers all around like the Vet. The motor on this car is the 600 horsepower LS3 from Texas Speed, and it's all of 600 horsepower. This car is a beast. Again, the front runner from Vintage Air, Hydro Boost brakes. This car is fun to drive. It's probably the least comfortable to drive though, because it's pretty harsh, and it's all of 600 horsepower. If you watched any of the other episodes, we had a 2-part episode on this TTA. So there's a lot of information. Go catch that episode. Again, to summarize this is the 1989 TTA Indianapolis pace car. It's got the Buick Grand National motor in it, but this is not in contention. This will not go there. I'm keeping this low miles. I want to take it to Radwood. I think it'll show really well. And then there really is my favorite. I'm just a sucker for the rotary motor and the RX-7s, and this is a comfortable car. It's got a good stereo system. It's got cold AC. It just looks good. You get all thumbs up when you go down the road on this. I wouldn't mind taking this one again. Well, there they are. I'm probably glutton for punishment here. I don't know what to think. It'll probably be 10 hours of brutal road, but we'll see. Actually, I've taken on these to Dallas a couple times and such. They run fine. The Camaro kind of beats the crap out of you for a while. The Corvette actually just glides down the road. And the Camaro, we'll start these up and I'll show you what I mean. The Camaro, I don't even know if I can do any filming in that car. That thing's so loud. It's a beast. So the Corvette, not so much, but still pretty loud. I don't know, let's start them up and maybe that'll help you make a decision as well. Well, that's my sales pitch. What do you think? What would you have me take? probably asking for punishment here, but I'll let you know. We'll film the trip, and when we do, you'll know which one was decided. Appreciate it. Today, I'm going to change out the hubs on my F250. It's 2000 F250, but I believe these same hubs will work for a 98 to 2004 F250 and F350. The reason I'm doing this is mine are starting to fail. These hubs are notorious for fail. They're auto select inside the cab. They operate by vacuum. Once you select the four-wheel drive inside, it will vacuum assist the locking of the hub. What happens is this is a little orifice. It's porous, basically, and an air can pass through here, and back behind here is a rubber diaphragm. These two things can fail. The orifice itself, or the porousness of this, can get clogged up. The diaphragm below, behind it, can rupture, puncture, and even so, in the hub itself, in the back side of the hub, there's some retaining clips and plastic clips and stuff like that that can fail and make this whole mechanism not work together, besides the fact that you can have vacuum leaks and so on. So I'm going up to Montana in November, and I'm going up into places where I need my four-wheel drive. If it snows heavily, I'll need to chain up front and rear. I need my four-wheel drive. And I'm going to change these things out. I've got some worn manual hubs. These come in two versions. There's a base version and a premium version. The base version has some plastic parts inside of the internals, while the premium version has all metal parts. Now, I've already unboxed this, so there won't be any reason for any unboxing, but I've taken this apart. These are the components that are in the worn product in its box. It's the hub itself, the cap itself, and the selector switch. There is a retaining clip that holds the hub in, little spiral clip. I haven't put these on before, so we'll see how long it takes me to spiral this in, and a rubber sealing on the cap itself. Really, all you need for this, I believe, is a screwdriver. You don't need to take the wheels off. You just take off your plastic cover for your lug nuts. Set that aside. Then, and I'm going to lower this just a little bit in here, and I'll zoom in too. See if we can get a good picture of that. Right here is a metal retaining clip. A pair of pliers should be able to pull that out. We'll see. It can get stuck. No, perfect. Taking this out shouldn't be too hard. Sometimes they stick though, and this one is going to stick. So I might beat on that with a little rubber mallet and be right back. Okay, with a little bit of persuasion, a little bit of pliers, this is going to come out. I did the other side in between this, and it slid right out. This one's a little jammed up, but eventually it comes out. What happens, again, there's a little plastic clip inside there, right here, excuse me. That can fail. There's a bearing inside of here. There's rubber diaphragm behind here. And this is a porous little material out here, lets air pass through. All of that can fail, and it's just not very reliable. They all fail, as a matter of fact. So we're going to replace it. This is the worn hub right here. And we are going to put that in. You need to line, there you go, need to line these splines up in here to these splines, and these outer splines to these splines here. So it might take a little bit of fiddling to get that done. There you go. Now, there is a spiral clip right here. You can see that. That's now your retaining clip, not this. And this spirals in. We'll see how this goes. I don't think I've done this. I did it on the other side. It took some fiddling. There you go. That's in. Now, really what we should have is a rubber O-ring, and instead of, well, excuse me, instead of this O-ring right here that seals the whole mechanism and keeps debris in and out on the inside of this surface, we are using the cap and O-ring, and through here that's going to mate to this side of the surface. Also included in here are some nice, I think these are 9/64, excuse me, Allen wrench bolts. There's a retaining clip in here. That might be for a different year, because I don't believe we need that. These tabs, there's 3 tabs right here, made up to this tab right here. So counterclockwise is free, clockwise is locked. Set this back a little bit more. All right, that should be it. I'm gonna give this on a test drive and lock them, set them free. I just didn't want to run up into Montana, not have my 4-wheel drive. I wouldn't be able to go where I need to go and be stuck. So that's pretty much it. Pretty simple on that one. So it's the next day. I tried filming the testing of this with my handy cam. I didn't have my GoPro yesterday to attach it onto the windshield, so I tried putting my handy cam on the dash, and every time I turned it would slide off the dash. It was a complete clown show. So so today I'm back. I got my GoPro, and I just wanted to show you basically that it's fixed. What was happening before was when I would make a turn, one of these hubs were stuck on or halfway engaged maybe, and every time I'd make a tight turn you could hear a clunking and stuff like that. So I wanted to fix that. I don't know if that's a problem with the vacuum system or the hub itself. I don't care. I just wanted to replace it. So do a couple tight turns, and we're in my parking lot. We're not doing this out in the public roads. I want to make sure that everything's good before I got on the road. And a couple tight turns, no clunking, it's free. Maybe go the other way, put in reverse. Watch out for customers, we're actually open right now. Yep, sounds good. All good. So now when I select 4x4 on the dash, I'm only turning on the transfer case to 4x4 and engaging that. I'll need to get out and lock the hubs, and let's try that and show that. Oh. All right, now we put this in 4-wheel drive. Now should be in 4-wheel drive, and hubs are locked. And on this dry pavement, we should get a lot of kickback, which we do. So we're in 4-wheel drive. Let's not do that for too much longer. Seems like it's fixed, and I'm very happy.